Good resurrection morning. Well, it's time for us to review our Sunday school lesson today. Let's review it together. We are in our spring quarter for March, April, and May that is entitled Prophets Faithful to God's Covenant. We are in unit number 2 that is entitled Prophets of Restoration. And for this new unit for the month of April, these next 4 lessons, we're going to be looking at prophets who expressed God's compassion during a time when Israel forsook the Lord. These are going to be our focus over the next 4 weeks of these prophets of restoration. Well, on this resurrection morning today, we come to lesson number 5, the first lesson in this unit, and it is entitled Finding Hope in the Midst of Oppression. Our printed text today is Isaiah, the 53rd chapter, verse 4 through 11. As we begin to review this lesson today, its focus is the eagle-eyed prophet, the prophet by the name of Isaiah, whose mass volume of writing and to his kingly counterparts that he wrote to makes him one of the more known prophets to us. And today in our lesson, he is giving a prophecy of hope to not only the children of Israel who are enslaved, but he's also giving hope to many generations, including our generation right now, on what great things God has and is continuing to do for us. Well, I find it fitting today as we come to a close of this review, not to do much talking, but let's just hear the words of the prophet. And what I want to do is read our printed text today, Isaiah 53, verse 4 through 11, and let us reflect on the price Jesus paid on Calvary's cross and the victory that he won on this resurrection morning. Isaiah 53, verse 4 through 11 reads from the King James Version, "Surely he hath borne our grief and carried our sorrows. Yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. And all we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shears is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generations? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. He made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was there any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him, and he hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, and he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand." The final verse concludes by saying, verse 11, "He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquity." Let us reflect on what the Lord went through to give us the victory that we celebrate today.